Senator Marsha Blackburn has represented Tennessee in the United States Senate since 2019. She has proven herself to be a real fighter for the people. And as the Democrats' border crisis rages on, she says she's going to be blocking judicial nominees from the state of New York until Chuck Schumer speaks out and urges the Biden administration to stop placing illegal immigrants in school gyms and get this crisis under control. Please welcome back to our show, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Well, what a fun time to be in Washington these days, right?
I'm telling you, it is something new every day. And as I say, you cannot make this stuff up. You just can't.
Do you get just so frustrated you want to just sometimes say, I'm not even going back, I'm going to stay in Tennessee this week?
Sometimes you get frustrated, but I am so blessed and so happy to be there. I just am grateful every day that I have the opportunity to defend faith, family, freedom, hope, and opportunity for the great people of Tennessee.
Will we? And I think they love having you there. There's no doubt about that. Are we going to see a resolution to the debt ceiling crisis?
Indeed we will. It was 100 days from the time that McCarthy asked for a meeting with the president before the president decided he was ready for a meeting. Took him 97 days to say he was going to agree to have that meeting. And the entire time, you've known that this was coming and it has to be addressed. And finally, the president has realized he is going to have to negotiate, and the American people want to see some reductions in spending. This out-of-control spending is driving inflation. The price at the pump, what you're paying to heat and cool the house, everything is just skyrocketing. The price of groceries. Had a guy over in East Tennessee this week say, why should I have to pay $5 for a dozen eggs? And you look at the cost of milk and bread and bacon and meat and just those living expenses. Governor, people just cannot afford this. And they're tired of it. They remember that under President Donald Trump, they had some money left at the end of the month. Yeah. And now they have too much month left at the end of the money.
And that's exactly right for most American families. Yeah. You know, I saw that over 60% of the American people want Congress to control spending.
Yes.
Even in the midst of this debt ceiling. And they say, look, we understand we can't default, but we're all having to cut back. How come Washington doesn't come back? So what you just said, I think, is something that is genuinely shared by the overwhelming majority of people in this country.
Yes, 75% of the people in this country think we are on the wrong track. And they hold the Biden administration responsible for this. This is why he has his ratings lower, his approval ratings lower than any president in modern history at this point of their term.
Well, it's disturbing. There are some rays of hope happening, yes. One of which is a bipartisan bill that you and Richard Blumenthal have co-sponsored. It's about protecting kids. Kind of refreshing to see any consideration of a bill that involves both Democrats and Republicans.
Yes. Tell
us about this bill, because I think when people learn, they'll realize who could be against this.
That is so true. It's the Kids Online Safety Act. And I imagine your audience has kids, grandkids that are on these social media platforms and they're being fed all this garbage. And what this bill would do is require social media platforms to design for safety and have safety default settings. And it would prohibit them from pushing forward these things that encourage suicide, bulimia, eating disorders, put children in touch with pedophiles and drug dealers and sex traffickers. And it would require them to make these algorithms available so that parents have a toolbox that they can use with their children to make certain that they're safe online. You know, we expose children to things online that there are laws against exposing them to in the physical space. But it is time to hold big tech accountable. we had 33 of 100 senators join us as original co-sponsors on this, completely unheard of in this day and age. And we are confident we're going to be able to push it through. The parents want this passed by the time school starts. And Governor, we've got hundreds of groups that are out there, that a lot of our churches, our religious organizations, Concerned Women for America, Heritage Foundation, hundreds of groups that are supportive of this. So everyone needs to call their member of the House or the Senate and say, let's get it done.
You know, I think it's such a great idea. And you're one of the most conservative members in all of Congress, House or Senate. Dick Blumenthal is one of the most liberal members.
Yes,
the fact that the two of you have co-sponsored this and agree on it, is there anybody that is giving you stiff opposition at this point?
All of the social media platforms, Google, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, they all have armies of lawyers and lobbyists, and they get up every day trying to see what they can do to make our life miserable and our job harder, because when our children are online, they are the product.
Yeah.
Because these social media platforms pull their data, they do the data mining, and then they sell that to advertisers. And they don't want to give up that profit. Our children are not there for their profit. And parents are saying, let's put some protections in place so that we can protect these children online.
I am so glad you're doing this.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it. This is the grandfather of 7 little ones. These social media companies are acting like predators, and they're like wolves going after our children and our grandchildren.
Yes.
I think this audience joins me in saying, thank you, Senator Blackburn, for caring about these kids and fighting for them. So follow Senator Marsha Blackburn on social media. As always, we'll have links on our website, Huckabee.tv, so you can find out how you can make contact with your own senator and representative and find out more about the bill that the senator is working on. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.